Today we're going to review the metric system. So the largest unit that we have in the metric system is what?
Kilometer.
Kilo. And then we have?
Deca.
No?
Hecta.
Hecto.
Hecto.
And then? Deca. And then we have our different units. We will be looking at meters, liters, and grams. All right, so smaller than a meter is not centi. It
We
is
made up a thing for this last year. Like
Decimeters.
deci. Yep.
I don't remember what this is like.
And after deci,
Milli.
centi, and then
Milli.
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 Ooh.
Yep, milli is the smallest one. So
Why is it one more stuff?
we will be using abbreviations.
We came up with like an N. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what it was. Deck.
We will be using abbreviations to represent the different units. I'm, just to fill space, placekeeper. I'm going to use the M to represent the meters. So if it's a kilometer, it's
K.
km. If it's a hectometer, it is
HM.
hm. Decameter,
DM.
nope,
DKM.
dkm. There's also another one, DAM.
Damn.
Yeah. Meters represented by the M, liters the L, grams the G. So when you're looking at abbreviations, any one of these can have the M swapped out for either an L or a G. Okay?
L.
Liters. So you could have kilograms, which would be kg. You could have decagrams, which would be dkg. Just keep that in the back of your mind. You're not always going to see M in the abbreviation. So deci is dm. So what you have to be aware of is when you see dm, it's deci. When you see dkm or dam, it's deca. All right? Centi, cm, and milli, mm. All right, the number of meters. So there's 1 meter in a meter. How many meters in a kilometer? 1,000. Hectometer.
Doesn't it like drop here each time?
Yep. Decameter. 10. All right, so what portion of a meter is a decimeter? 1/10. So you can write it as 1/10 or 0.1. Centimeter?
0.01.
It is 0.01 or 1/100th. Millimeter?
0.001.
0.001 or
Yeah.
1,000. A millimeter is like the distance between your thumb and your finger when you get them as close together as you can without touching. So bring them together till just before they're touching. Barely a space there. That's a millimeter. Centimeter is like the width of your little finger. Decimeter is like the width of your hand. It's about that big. Question?
I think that the millimeter is actually the thickness of your nail or something like that.
Yeah, that might be a good measurement too. Meter is like from the tip of one hand to the opposite shoulder. So you put out one arm, the tip of the one hand to the opposite shoulder. That's about how long a meter is. Obviously, some of us have different arm lengths, but this is just an approximation. Kilometer is a little more than half a mile. All right, so when you guys looked at converting metrics before, how did you do it?
We like jumps.
You did jumps, yes. We're still going to do it that way. Later on, in one of the other units, we're going to do what's called dimensional analysis, where you're multiplying what you're starting with and what the conversion fact is. We're going to do hops. I call them hops. You can call them jumps, whatever you want. So, for example, we have 6 centimeters, and we want to change it to meters. So, we're starting here at centi. We need to go to meters, which is here. So we have to take 2 hops to the left. So that's what we do with our decimal. Where is the decimal on example 1?
After the 6.
After the 6, very good. So you have an imaginary decimal here, and you need to move it 2 places to the left. Where that hole is, you fill with a 0. So we have 0.06. Nice. All right, example 2, 5.7 centimeters. We need to change it to kilometers. So we're starting at centi, and we have to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hops to the left. So now we're given the decimal. We have to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hops to the left, fill that all in with zeros. So we have 0.000057. Example 3, 3.8 decimeters. We're changing to millimeters. So deci, remember it's deci, not deca. Deci to milli, how many are we moving?
2
2 to the right.
2 to the right. So move your decimal, 1, 2 to the right, and that gives us 380. Example 4, 7.82 hectometers. That we need to change to decimeters. So we're starting at hecto, we need to go to deci. So how many hops would we make?
3.
Not deca, deci, right. So how many are we going to make? 3, which direction? Okay, so 1, 2, 3. So that's 7,820 decimeters. Okay, so that was piece of cake.
Yeah.
Now, when converting units that are squared, we need to double the moves. So, example 5, we have 12 centimeters squared. We need to change it to decameters squared. So, if we're going from centi to deca, we would normally move how many?
4.
But because the units are squared, we have to double that. So that means we need to move 8. If we're going from centi to deca, aren't we going to move 3?
Yeah.
All right, centi, 1, 2, 3. So that means we're going to move 6. And which way are we moving? To the left. And where is my decimal?
After the 12.
After the 2. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And fill in all the spaces with zeros. So we have 0.000012 decameters.
Isn't there 5 zeros?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, there's 4.
there's 4.
How many spots were there?
You move back 6.
But there's a 12 there.
Yep, you move in front of the 2, in front of the 1, and then you have 4 holes that you fill with zeros. Kilometers squared to meters squared. So when we're going from kilo to meters, how many would we normally move? 3, but because it's squared, we're going to move 6. And which way are we moving? To the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 5,300,000 meters squared. When converting units that are cubed, okay, All right, we need to triple the moves. So we're going from centi to deci. So that means normally we would move how many? But because it's cubed, we're going to triple that, so that means we need to move how many? 3. And are we going to the left or to the right? So we go 1, 2, 3. So we have 0.0144 cubic decimeters. Example 8, 21,324 cubic centimeters. We need to change it to meters. So centi to meters, how many do we move? But because it's cubed, we're going to move. How many?
6.
And where's our decimal? After the 4. So we're moving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 0.021324 meters cubed. Questions? All right, in metrics, what measures weight or mass?
Grams.
Grams. What measures length or height? Meters. And what measures volume?
Years.
Liters. All right, we have what's called a 3D volume chart. We're going to look at volume. We're looking at volume in this unit. And we're looking at what's equivalent in the next few days. So, length. When it comes to length, we're looking at meters. 1 cubic decimeter is equivalent to 1,000 cubic centimeters. I have the 1 up here and the 1,000 up here. 1 cubic decimeter equivalent to 1,000 cubic centimeters. With volume, 1 liter is equivalent to 1,000 milliliters. And with mass, 1 kilogram is equivalent to 1,000 grams. Now, a couple other things to remember with this chart. All of these items right here are equivalent to each other. 1 cubic decimeter equivalent to a liter. 1,000 cubic centimeters equal to a milliliter. And then they're true diagonally as well. 1 liter is equivalent to 1,000 cubic centimeters. A cubic decimeter is equivalent to 1,000 milliliters. So we have several measurements that are equivalent to each other. So example 12, what is the volume in liters? So we're looking for liters of 2.07 cubic decimeters of rice. So we have cubic decimeters and we want to know liters. What's the relationship between these two? What did I just say? They're the same. So 2.07 cubic decimeters of rice would equal how many liters? 2.07 liters. What is the volume of 2.0 cubic decimeters of rice in cubic centimeters? So we want our answer in cubic centimeters, and we're starting with cubic decimeters. Well, what's the relationship between this column and this column? What do? Multiply it by 1,000. So 2.07 times 1,000 gives us 2,070 cubic centimeters. Example 14, what is the volume of 2.07 liters in milliliters? So we're changing from liters to milliliters. What's the relationship here? What do? times it by 1,000. So 2.07 times 1,000, 2,070 milliliters. If 1 liter of water has a mass of 1 kilogram, then how many kilograms is 6.5 liters of water? So 1 liter has a mass of 1 kilogram, so these two are equivalent. Then how many kilograms is 6.5 liters of water? It is, because they are equivalent to each other. How many grams is 6.5 liters of water? So we want to know the number of grams, and it's given to us in liters. So to go from liters to grams, we multiply by 1,000. So 6.5 times 1,000 gives us 6,500 grams. Questions?